Welcome back everybody to my channel. Hi, I'm Rizbet the Blade, your personal mining guru, and today we're gonna talk about material RICCITE, or if you wanna say receipt. People are pronouncing that differently. I'm pronouncing it receipt because it's like a bill when you pay in the restaurants, right? So it's sounds funny. But this is basically material which we need also now for crafting, and it's one from the most rarest materials that you can find, and it goes in that same group like Contanium, Savrilium, Steeleron, right? And what for you need that material for crafting is for KARNA rifles. I like KARNA rifles and a lot of other players do. So this is one of the materials, and I think this is the more rarest one what you need to find, because the three materials which you need for crafting KARNA weapons, it's Rickite, it's Beryl, and Boradum gem. So we're gonna talk about today, what's the scan signatures, and where you can find it and how you need to search for it. So let's start. First, most important thing, to know about this receipt or recite material is that it's spawning strictly in Pyro, and you can also find it like in some like asteroid belts, right, in space. And usually where I'm looking at for, it's on the surface of the moons, and you can also find it on planets. And now the signatures, which you need to pay attention on, it's three of them. So that means that this material can spawn only as a one rock, as two rocks, or three rocks, not more than that, right? So three rocks is the maximum, and this three rocks cluster you're gonna find very rare, right? It's more gonna be like single stones or double stones, same like as Contanium, right? So this is like similar search. It's just on other place. So now you see me flying in the mall here, and I am on the nav mode in high speeds, in cruise control, and I just keep, scanning. I put my angle of scan on 2% and just keep looking where I'm gonna see the signatures, right? So signatures for a single rock is 3,385. For double rock, it's double that, so it's 6,770. And normally for three rocks or triple signature, which is just, multiplying, it's 10,155 in number, right? So now you can see me, I'm flying direct to one signature, and this is where we have one stone. It's actually two of them here. So I'm gonna switch on the right one. You see, this is iron, but we're not looking for that. We're looking for this signature 3,385. And this is where I'm going directly now. Now is the question, are you gonna get better results, better, quality of material with one stone, or maybe where it's gonna be two stones, or maybe even three? This is all random, right? It's no some exact recipe. The only thing is that we just notice is that, the smaller amount is, and the smaller stone, it can be better quality, right? Which is a little bit ridiculous. I would like to be that more random. You can see here it's 760 quality, which is something like the lowest what people would, take for crafting if they want to craft something better, right? So this is where it starts on like 750 to 800 quality and up. Now here we're gonna see, the double stones. So this is, this signature of 6,770. So just keep checking all these unknown markers, right? And because some people like go to one place, they ping, then they stop, and then they look around, right? But you're supposed to be flying on high speed. That's the if you wanna say efficiency search, right? Because this is the reason why I'm mining always, let's say in Pyro, why moons like Adir and Ignis are like two maybe best place what is concerning speed flight. because if you go to like planets like, you know, Monox, Pyro 1, um, Terminus, right? This is huge planets, and speed of light is very slow there. And you can also have that on some moons, where it's maybe not so bad, but it's much worse than on a Deer or Ignis moons in Pyro. So that's why this was always two best places before 4.7 to mine Continuum, because we could fly fast here, right? So this is the reason why I'm doing it here. Normally, we have other type of materials on other moons and planets, so really we need to go there. But if you have something on a Deer and Ignis, and you can find that also on other place, you're always supposed to go on a Deer or Ignis, especially a Deer. This is the fastest flight here, right? So if you're looking for that same materials, always try to, you know, remember where you can fly the fastest, and then you're gonna have the fastest cert, right? So here, what you see now in this type of footage, this is where I found finally, you know, triple RICCITE rocks. They're extremely rare. To find it triple, usually I always find, you know, single or double. And like I said, you know, it's not a pattern that now it's gonna be 3 stones, now you're gonna have some big quality, right? It doesn't work like that, right? So you just need to check all of them, and now all these 3 were like pretty low quality, you know, just above 500 something. And so yeah, you know, it's not such a pattern that, you know, now it's gonna be exactly, you know, big quality. No, this is all random, right? So you need to just basically check all what you find. And now I'm gonna show you a little bit bigger qualities. So here is going to be some, you know, the biggest qualities that I found. They're not going over 900, but they're close to 900, you know, between 850 and 900. So first of these stones is here. It's just stone which is collectible immediately, right? So you can extract it without mining it. And this is what I was talking about before, you know, these higher qualities are just, you know, tinier pieces, right? And you can also, you know, find them where you need to actually break the rock. But usually all these like higher qualities I found in these tiny pieces where I can just directly collect, you know, without mining. This is the first one, and this one is exactly 855 quality, like you see it here now on the screen. You guys need to understand that usually if you find some higher quality, it's gonna be between, you know, 800 and 900. Don't count over 900. This is like extremely rare. You will find it, but sometimes you're gonna be, you know, searching a whole week and you're gonna find maybe one, right? So don't bother yourself and you know, turning your head around about that, because you're not supposed to find this a lot, because then, you know, people will be finding it on every step, and you will be done with mining in 1 week and you're not gonna do mining at all anymore. That's not the point of the game. So don't torture yourself with that. And this is the last stone that I'm gonna show you. So this is actually stone which we need to break, right? And you can see he is not big. He's just like 1.5 ton, right? So it's very tiny, and you can see it's 899 quality, right? So this is the highest one which I found for RICCITE or RICCITE, how you want to say it. Yeah. So one more thing, guys, with this mining on this planet, you're basically finding it in a very small stones. So it can go till maybe 15 tons, maybe 20, you know, but usually it's gonna be under 10 tons, right? Or 10,000 in mass. And like you see, this one here, it's just 1,400, which is like 1.4 tons, right? So this is tiny, it's like a pebble. And I'm mining it here with hosted laser, and you can see now that resistance is in the green, but it's still very high, and instability is very high, right? So it's in the red. So here impact would be better choice, but the thing is that if that would be like 5 to 10 tons, Impact could not break that without modules, right? Hosted would break that without modules till like 5 tones, but till 10, you already need to use one more search. So if you use Impact or Arbor, this resistance, even on small tiny rocks, gonna go on 70, 80, 90%, resistance, which is huge. But this is how this, material is. Unfortunately, even if there are small pieces and small amounts of ore, it can be very big resistance and instability. So just keep that in mind. Overheating on this type of stones can happen very, very quickly and very fast. You need to do very slowly movements with your mouse wheel, increasing just by 1% up and down. So this is very tricky, even on very small pebbles. This is all for this video, guys. And normally if you have more questions and you want to learn a lot about mining and ask a lot of things, you can always join me in my Java Scrap Mining Corp SC Discord, for which you have link under the video in description. And normally, like always, if you find this video very informative and interesting, please like, share this to other players so they can also learn, and subscribe to my channel for more content. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.